Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। May I know your name, Prabhu? Pavan. You are working here? Okay. Very nice. This is the first time you're coming. I miss your name? Sarah. Okay. Thank you for coming. Prabhu, your name? Kartavya. Very nice. Duty. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming for the Gita study class. We are, as of now, doing the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Let me share the screen. You have some idea to the Bhagavad Gita before? And you also? No? For the first time you're hearing. And Prabhu, what about you? You have some idea. Kartavya. Just silent, make it silent. So we have already discussed the first 6 chapters. We are in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And as you know, there's 18 chapters to the Bhagavad Gita, and these 18 are divided into 3 sections. The Karma Yoga we have already discussed. Now Krishna is discussing Bhakti Yoga in middle chapters, and Jnana Yoga from 13 to chapter 18. Some of the acharyas, they explain, just like in the sandwich, the main part is the filling. Similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita, the middle portion is the Bhakti Yoga, which is most important, and Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, they only support Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna is now speaking to Arjuna the most important aspect of all knowledge. These 6 chapters in between, chapter 7 to chapter 12. Why is it most important? Because Krishna says that knowledge is about himself, and therefore it is directly about himself, and therefore it's most important. And he's elucidating, explaining the process to attain God, attain him. And therefore, in first verse of the 7th chapter, like the beginning first verse of the entire section of the Bhakti Yoga, Krishna tells Arjuna, you have to hear me as I explain to you. You are practicing yoga in full consciousness with mind attached to me. Okay. So we will quickly, you have the other mic, we'll quickly read through the translation, go to 6th verse, I think. Have we done 4th and 5th verse? We have? 4th and 5th? We have done. 6th also we have done? Okay, so we are doing from 7.7. Okay, so we'll just read through the translations. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Shall I read?
Yeah. So just like a disclaimer, Sarah, in this we are going to discuss a little more in depth. So up to your, okay, up to you. So he'll explain to you. Okay. Yeah. Now you can you see text one? Translation only.
Yeah.
Here you go.
O conqueror of wealth, there is no true superior to me. Everything rests upon
You have to
me.
read loudly.
Oh.
They cannot hear you.
O conqueror of wealth,
No, you have to read from text 1.
You said 7.7.
Yeah, 7.1. Onwards, we'll read translation, then start 7.7.
the supreme personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Partha, Pritha,
knows me in truth.
Yeah, so Krishna is saying here, I'm going to give the summit of all knowledge, the summit of all knowledge, the final end product, Vedanta, the end of all knowledge. If you know this, you don't have to know anything else. But how many people are after this knowledge? That's only 1 in a million. Hmm? That's why he's saying in the text. And fourth one, now he starts.
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separated material energies.
Now Krishna first talks about his energies. So first in text 4 he's explaining what constitutes his material energy. What constitutes his material energy? Yeah, fire, okay. And ether. Oh, it's there on the screen. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. 8 elements. Okay, but Krishna says beyond this there is another energy of mind, which is spiritual energy. Yeah, who's next? Yeah.
Beside this, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material, inferior nature.
Yeah. So he says there are two energies, broadly speaking. One is called as the material energy, which constitutes earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. And other is spiritual energy. But spiritual energy is called as superior energy, and material energy is called as inferior energy. Why? Why is spiritual energy is superior to material energy?
Because that's eternal.
Both energies are eternal. They're always there. Sorry? Both are coming from Krishna. Both energies are of Krishna's.
Prabhu, can I answer?
Of course.
Yeah, because material energy will be, is being used by, is being useful when it comes in contact with the spiritual energy. Because material energy itself is not so useful. It is
Okay.
useful when
And
it is
you're there somewhere, but you're not hitting the point. But you're there somewhere. I think you have it in your mind. It's your say. Yes?
Spiritual energy is non-dual and material is dualism. It has
No, energy in itself is not dual. Yeah, material energy is eternal. It is always existing. It is not dual. It's just only the manifestations of material energy. Like earth is always there. But using earth, you can make so many things. Right? The manifestations are temporary, but the earth element, the fire element, they're always there. The material energy always exists. There's no duality at that time. Yeah, anyone else? We discussed this elaborately last time. Yes.
Are you expecting an answer something like?
I'm not expecting. I'm expecting what?
Guess not.
Okay.
So like spiritual energy is like when it's everything is Krishna consciousness related, while material energy is not
Okay.
self.
Okay.
Is it something like that?
No. So why is you're telling me what is spiritual energy? What is material energy? I'm asking why is spiritual energy superior to material energy?
So, like when we think about material in terms of like gross body, subtle body, and soul, we always say soul is the driver of the material energy.
Okay. Haribo, you can clap. That means the spiritual energy can exploit material energy. Spiritual energy utilizes material energy. Therefore, spiritual energy is superior. And that's what in fifth translation you can see it. It's there on the screen answer. O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. So we should be very aware of what we're reading. Okay, so we will just read this, very important. Apareyam mitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam dayate jagat. Okay. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. So now we have discussed there are two energies. Krishna has spoken about two energies. Sixth verse. एतद्योनीनि भूतानि
एतद्योनीनि भूतानि
सर्वाणीत्युपधारय
सर्वाणीत्युपधारय
अहं कृत्स्नस्य जगतः
अहं कृष्णस्य जगतः
प्रभवः प्रलयस्तथा.
प्रलयस्तथा.
Who is next? Yeah.
All created beings have their source in these two natures. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution.
Anything in this world is belonging to either one of these energies. Either it's spiritual energy or material energy. There is nothing third. And Krishna is saying, I am the origin of both the energies. So in 9th chapter later on, Krishna is saying, can you just push it back? Yeah, Krishna is saying, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. Krishna is saying, I'm pervading this entire universe. Not just one universe, universes. He is everywhere. How? Through his energies. He's everywhere. And what is energies? The spiritual energy, material energy. Krishna says, I am everywhere. And therefore Krishna says here that I am origin of both. That means when we consider anything in this world, we can understand it belongs to Krishna. Why? Because Krishna is saying it is coming from me. And therefore, definition of God is Janmadi Asyataha. That person from whom everything emanates, he is called as God. So in India, it is very famous for people to claim oneself as God. You can ask, did everything come from you? If he says yes, then he is God. Of course, he should prove it. Otherwise, he is not God. God is that person from whom everything emanates. So, for example, when Krishna comes to this world, he accepts parents, Yashoda, Nanda, or Devaki, Vasudev. So then one can say, but Krishna came from Devaki, Vasudev. But actually, Devaki, Vasudev came from Krishna. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you explain? How is it that Krishna comes from Devaki, Vasudev, or Devaki, Vasudev came from Krishna?
That is just for like his Leela.
Mhm.
Because he wants to like give his devotees a chance to be able to serve him, like play with him, and because they had like a like some sort of wish that they want to like serve Krishna, that is why he gives them kind of this honor to be able to be his parents.
But they come from?
Krishna.
Krishna comes from them, and they come from Krishna.
So
If you tell this in the outside world, they'll think you're crazy.
it's a part
How
of
is
the
it possible?
Gita, for us.
Krishna says in the 15th chapter, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. That means all these living entities in this world, they're all my parts and parcels. And when the living entities come to this world, they take up different positions based on what type of desires they want to fulfill. But at the end of the day, we are spirit souls having occupied this vehicle called as body to fulfill our different kinds of desires. But we are coming from Krishna. We are parts and parcels of Krishna. And therefore Krishna says, I am the origin of both. And therefore real knowledge is, we say, MSc. We all have to do MSc. MSc means we have to understand matter, spirit, and controller of both. M for master, S for spirit, and C for controller of both. That is MSc. That is real knowledge. So Krishna is saying, yes, in this world, there is material energy, which we see all around. Material energy means all the manifestations of the permutation combination of the elements, earth, water, fire, and ether. When you put them together and mix them up, you get gadgets, you get furniture, you get even sound vibrations. It's sound. It's also an element. And you get everything in this world, material, is made from ultimately these Panch Mahabhut. And so that is material energy. Then we have to understand beyond material energy is spiritual energy, because you will find when a living entity enters a Boeing 777 or any big huge jets, the jets they are stationed in the airport. Until and unless a person enters the cockpit, it doesn't move. It's only one small living entity enters the cockpit and the huge Boeing flies. Similarly, you will find this JCB, they say, the
Earth
machine that,
movers.
sorry,
The earth movers.
earth movers. Very proud name it is. They don't necessarily move the earth, but of course, they dig and displace. So JCBs, they dig up one portion of earth, and sometimes the machines are huge. Once we were going here in Flatbush Avenue, leading up to Manhattan Bridge, so they blocked the entire pathway because there was a huge truck pulling this another big JCB machine. So they are huge machines, but do you think it will move on its own? Then for that you need the tiny living entity. He will be sitting and controlling. You're thinking how is this big JCB moving all around? They're building buildings. They're carrying a lot of cement and this and that. So much functionality, everything carried out by small living entities in comparison to the huge structures. So therefore, spiritual energy, once you understand material energy, they're dead matter. Material energy has no life, but they tend to animate, or they tend to seem alive because of the presence of spiritual energy. Spiritual energy is animate, that is the living force. But Krishna says that is not complete knowledge. Many a times people only understand, okay, I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. But what is the position of the spirit soul? We have to also understand there is material energy, spiritual energy, and controller of both. So that constitutes complete knowledge. And now Krishna will go to 7th. This is the verse for the day. So before we continue, let me just give you a general idea of how the chapter is going. Let me see if I have. Structure of Gita. Okay. Okay, you're able to see. So chapter 7 is called as the knowledge of the absolute. Now text 1 to 3, it glorifies the knowledge about Krishna. That having known Krishna, and who can know Krishna is only 1 in a million. Having known him, you have nothing more to know. And text 4 to 12, we are in the 7th one. In this section, we are going to study about Krishna's energies. So text 4 and 5, what we discuss now is material energy constitutes earth, water, fire, etc. And what is spiritual energy? Now 6th and 7th explains about Krishna is the creator, maintainer, and destroyer. And text 8 to 12 explains about Krishna is all pervasive, the sense of everything, and is beyond the material modes. And further, what is explained in this chapter is, therefore one has to surrender to Krishna because he is at the top. So if you have to surrender, we all have to serve someone. Why not serve the best person? And then Krishna also talks about what the god and gods in the 7th chapter. He talks about different types of worship, the demigod worship, and also impersonalistic path. We will gradually cover all of them. And text 26 to 30, Krishna talks about how to go from Maya to Krishna, how to develop devotion to Krishna. That's the end of the chapter. 30, yeah. So pretty small chapter, 7th chapter, but very important. Okay, so now, so why to know about Krishna before we begin? Prabhu, what is your name?
Sandeep.
Sandeep. Okay. Your first time coming
Oh,
here?
yeah. I usually come upstairs.
No, okay. You are a student here?
Oh, yeah.
Where
I'm
is-
working.
You're working and student?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Working off campus?
No, like
Okay.
I'm working full time and doing some research.
Okay, very nice. Sandeep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. And only others all we know, regulars. Okay. So why to know about Krishna? Because now Krishna in 7th chapter onwards, for next 5 chapters, is going to talk about himself. Many people feel, what is the need of knowing God? My life is anyway going nicely, isn't it? Why to know about God? So if there is no desire to know about God, then this is all irrelevant. So anyone wants to just pitch in some ideas, opinions? Yes, please. You have the mic with you.
I think knowing about God helps with the faith and like increasing your faith and trust.
Faith in what?
Krishna.
Okay, knowing about Krishna increases your faith in Krishna. So the question comes, why to know about him? That's the question. Why to have faith? I mean, there are so many atheistic, agnostic people. Their lives also going on. They also eat and sleep. Probably they're more successful than us. So why to know about God? Yeah.
So we can understand our ultimate goal of life and not just be just like a cog in the machine. And so we understand what is
Not to be cog in the machine.
like
It's a good thing, right?
no, it's not. But like because you need to understand your ultimate goal of life so that you understand because once you die, right, this is all gonna be like left here. So only like spiritual advancement or that Namka Pratibin, that is the eternal like wealth. So that is
Okay. Very lofty answer. We'll accept it. Thank you. Any other? Why to know about God? Yes.
Prabhu,
Yes. What is your name?
the sign up, Prabhu.
Ah, okay, fine. Yeah.
Knowing about God, helps us to know our position as a spirit soul in this material world. I mean, it gives our spirit soul as purpose and it will let us know ourselves even more. The position which we are in, I mean, why we are here.
Okay. It helps us know our position.
Our position as a spirit soul. Yeah. I mean, if we know who created us, I mean, we can know how Krishna created us. I mean, what is the purpose we are in this material world and how we got here. Yeah, and that's
Okay. Thank you. Anything else? Prabhu is saying that if we know about God, we will understand our true position. Same like ultimate purpose. Why are we here? Okay. Thank you. And anyone else? Why to know about God?
To know about your
Prabhu, what is your name? I see you. Matthew. Okay. Thank you for coming. Yes. Yeah.
to know about your own creator.
To know
find out,
about
like,
your own
who
creator.
created you.
Okay. Knowing that, what we'll do? What will do with that knowledge? And what is the use of the knowledge? See, you know about him.
go back to him.
Go back to him. You just say that Krishna is everywhere.
So when I know like where my parents are, I know where to head back to.
Okay. So you want to go there? You want to go to God? Why not? ठीक है. Anyone else?
So
Why-
we can
yeah.
live ethically and not engage in illicit activities and be mindful of our actions and make sure, okay, these have consequences. So
Yeah, good. Gives us a good reasoning, motivation, why to lead a path of dharma. Okay, thank you. Yes, someone raised hand. You raised hand.
So,
What?
Ale-
Okay. Okay. Yeah, after Nitesh.
so it's like if everything is going well, then also after a point we feel some kind of something lacking or a kind of vacuum within. Even for people who are very well off,
Turn the camera.
who appear well off.
Repeat again. They are thinking Arjun is keeping quiet. Where's the sound coming from?
So, like those who appear well off materially, they also after a point feel some kind of a vacuum, and those who are not, who are suffering, are definitely suffering and are looking for some sort of way out. So it's like, if nothing is working, if neither side of the binary is working largely, then let's navigate something to get
Good.
you might get a sense of direction. Who knows?
Very nice. So to put a full stop to all suffering, you need to understand about her deeper truth. Very nice point that you mentioned Even if our life is going on nicely, still there's some sort of a vacuum. Still we are still looking for that purpose. What is the purpose of life? And therefore, Bhagavad Gita is relevant to such people. How many of you are such people? What? Others? Waiting for prasadam. No, we all want to actually understand deeper truths to life to different degrees. Though we may consider ourselves as spiritualists, seekers, or even we just want to know God. And many of us have already progressed in previous lives. We're just continuing from there. Yes?
I have a question.
Yeah,
not
you need the mic.
everyone has
Mic,
these
mic, mic, mic,
questions.
mic, mic, mic. Yeah.
But this kind of awakening or this kind of
Yeah, correct.
a curiosity to even get the answers, not everyone has it.
Yeah.
But what is the reason behind it? Like why? Because if you talk normally also, people don't feel this vacuum only.
Yeah,
People are
correct.
happy. But
Yeah.
what is the reason that some seek that and some don't?
So some have already experienced lack of fulfillment in the previous lives. Because today happiness equates to fulfilling one's desires, isn't it? More you can fulfill your desire, more one is considered, I'm a very happy person. Why? Because I sent my son to America. He did his masters, he got a job, he got married, now he's settled in US. So they feel I'm a very successful person because I got whatever desires I had, I got fulfilled. But then after some time they'll start feeling, even after some lives, many lives, even though I have fulfilled so many things, still I'm not happy. That is the time when one questions, what is the purpose to life?
So you're saying everyone will eventually question these things, but it
Yeah.
is matter of when and which life.
So therefore, the amount of spiritual progress one has made, that means everyone in this world is suffering, but some people don't mind and to enjoy suffering, as in they just adjust. Adjusting means, like, once I met this person who was on a wheelchair, and he was like he was in a very bad shape, as in he was, he had leg broken, and some plaster on his nose, and probably met with a very bad accident. Then I was just thinking, he must be in the best position to understand God, because he understood this material world is not a place to look for happiness. But then one of our devotees, he went to him and gave a Gita. He said, why don't you study this and tell you about true happiness? He said, I don't want this. I want to enjoy this world. So I was just thinking, even after facing such accident and suffering so much, still he's adjusting in this material world. He has something called as hope in the material world. That means I will somehow or the other, I will find happiness. All the other people have not found happiness. Everyone is looking for it, but I'll be successful. They feel like that. That's called as hope against hope. Asha pasha satir baddha. Krishna calls such a mentality as little demoniac in 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. That means sometimes, Hare Krishna, sometimes we call, students, if anyone in India asks me, should I come to US for my MS? I said, now is not a good time, don't come. Still they come. Because they know, even though others are not getting jobs, even though the job market is crashed, everyone is jobless, so much competition, but I am special. When I go, I will get a job. I will somehow or the other make it. This is called as hope against hope, and this is because of something called as illusion, on account of attachment to fulfilling their desires. They tend to neglect what is so obvious, isn't it? So at that time, some devotee comes and tells, why don't you study the Bhagavad Gita? Come chant Hare Krishna. So they also open their spiritual bank account. They make some spiritual progress. Then it just hits them. What am I doing in life? Yeah, this material world is a place of suffering. Why am I not able to see it? It's not that only after coming Krishna consciousness we are suffering in this world. We have always been suffering. After coming Krishna consciousness, we are able to see it. Yeah, how many of you are able to realize that we have been suffering after you came to Krishna consciousness? Yeah, me. Therefore, I'm saffron. Otherwise, before coming to Krishna consciousness, I had other goals. Come to the US, do MS, you know. But then when I came across, I think I need a laptop now. It's 9%. When I met the devotee side, the Bhagavad Gita, it really opened my eyes to what is really obvious. That means the illusory curtain is so powerful, you cannot even make it out. And therefore, there are very few people who ask these questions. And most, they don't ask these questions. They still have hope. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So let me just switch. I'll just switch this. You open the Zoom. How did you open the Zoom here? I'm supposed to switch it. Is it a different account? Okay, sorry, just a minute. I'm not signed in there. That's right. Okay, so what I will do is okay, so I will exit this. Okay, so this I'll correct. Okay, Hare Krishna. Am I audible online? Okay. Sorry? Sorry? Or to television? Okay. This one, right? Samsung. Or can anyone online say something?
Hare Krishna.
Okay, is anything coming from here? Oh, wait, here. Okay, I think it's to work now. Okay. Yeah. Now we are doing the 7th verse. Is it, should I increase the size? Okay, 7.7. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. So now Krishna is telling his position. See, not everyone can digest Krishna's position because the jiva has come all the way from spiritual world to this material world in a mood of competition with the God, with God, to God. That means he wants to be the main person here. So when someone says, say your friend comes up and says, hey, I just got a job. You're thinking, what? You're such a fool. How can you get a job? But you will say, oh, congratulations. Outside. For instance, you're thinking, you don't deserve a job. I deserve a job. Isn't it? Or even if you have a job and you ask him, okay, what's the package? How much are you earning? Somehow Krishna's mercy, I get 150K per annum. You're thinking, what? I put so much effort. I've done so many certifications. I'm getting only 110K. How is it that you're getting 150K? So you see, there's always competitive mentality in this world. So this is the origin of this competitive mentality is you're trying to compete with God. In the Bible also the same story comes about the prodigal son. You have heard prodigal son story? None of you have heard prodigal son story? You have heard? Okay, some of you. Let me just play a video. Search. comes in Bible, but gives a nice understanding. Is the one? No, this is a nice one. Oh, this is the one we usually show. Can you reduce the volume of the remote?
What is it that they see in Jesus? He forgives everyone, keeps company with sinners. See the tax collectors.
Sorry, Prabhu.
And we know they need
Oh yeah, right.
forgiveness. Notice the crowds that follow him keep growing.
Well, this is not. We only have to see the thing which is relevant to us.
Excuse me, are those your sheep?
Yes, I am tending these myself, and this is just a part of my family's herd. My father put me in charge. Me!
Just
To
a
be
minute.
killed for a feast!
It's not proper. This is not the one, right?
Only like 7 minutes or something.
Yeah. Yeah, this one here. Okay, here. Yeah.
A man had 2 sons.
Okay.
The younger son told his father, "Father, I want my share of your estate now, before you die." So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, his younger son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land. And there he wasted all his money in wild living. Put that down! Thief! Thief! About the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land, and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pots he was feeding the pigs looked good to him. But no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, "At home, even the hired servants have food enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger." He wasted everything his father gave him.
Oh no!
Skip all this. Why so much distraction? What happened in Instagram? Yeah.
The young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him. But no one gave him anything. Finally, he came to his senses and said,
"My father's workers have plenty to eat, and here I am starving to death. I will go to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against God in heaven and against you. I am no longer good enough to be called your son. Treat me like one of your workers."
but when he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt sorry for him. He ran to his son. And he hugged and kissed him.
Hurry and bring the best clothes and put them on him. Give him a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet. Get the best calf and prepare it so we can eat and celebrate. This son of mine was dead but has now come back to life. He was lost and has now been found.
And they began to celebrate.
Yeah. So. Okay. Any lessons we learned from prodigal son? It's very similar to what in the Vedas explained. Therefore, we show the prodigal son story. So, any lessons that we learn? Yes, Prabhu.
No matter like how bad or like how bad you fall or like no matter what, like you could do the most sin, like the baddest sin or whatever, your father or like God, he would still love you if you just go back to him.
So Krishna is always in a accepting mood.
Yep.
He's still welcoming us, and therefore he comes to this world and performs beautiful pastimes so that we can hear about it. Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, so many leelas he performs. Just we can hear about it, develop a desire to be with God. Okay, good. Anything else? What did you learn from this video?
If you have money, go it. If you have money, spend wisely.
Yeah, but what is the analogous to? For the spiritual understanding.
Follow the four principles. No eating, no gambling, no intoxication.
Actually, you will find that person was a rebel because in his home, father, everything is under the one has to follow the orders of the father. So if he can live an independent life, then he will be the one ordering, isn't it? But was he happy independent from his father? No. He was happy when he came back. Similarly, the living entities have left God and come to this world trying to enjoy separate from God. But now, once the living entities try their best to enjoy and they get frustrated, then they try to understand spiritual truth. What is the purpose of life? Who is God? Where should I go after death? What happens? All these questions come to a person who has tried to enjoy this material world but has been frustrated, and then finally understands better to go to God, go back. So the Shastras explain that this material world is like a playground. So that is our real home, the spiritual world. And here we have come just trying to, try to be the hero here. Because hero over there is Krishna. Over there's no second hero. And therefore we have come to this material world. And that's what is being said here. Matta parataram na anyat. Krishna is saying, above me or beyond me, there's no one. Na anyat means apart from me. Parataram means he's the supreme and there's no second to him. Na anyat. There's no one else. Kinchit asti dhananjaya. Mai sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. I am like the string that holds the pearls together. See, for example, I have Kantima life. One of them is tulsi beads are there. It's strung together. You cannot see the thread, But the very fact that they're put together, they're being held together, you can understand there is a string going through each one of them. Krishna says this whole material world is being so well arranged, so well taken care of. I am actually that string who is keeping everything together. If you remove the string, all the tulsi beads will get scattered away. Similarly, without God, actually the whole there is nothing can be kept together. Who is in 15th chapter? Krishna also says, Gama Vishta Bhutani Dharayami Aham Ojasa. Krishna says, I am the one who enters into every planet and keep the planets in the orbit. We might study in physics centripetal force, centrifugal force, different forces. But Krishna says, who is keeping the planet in the orbit? It is him. We don't know it is him, so we call it different forces. We are trying to understand how it is working, isn't it? But there's so much in this world. Like if you go into the depths of what an atom is, within atom also there's a lot of working happening. So who has put that science there? Who has put that technology there? So Krishna says, I am the one, isn't it? Now we'll read translation. Who has the mic? Can you read?
O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread.
Purport?
There is a common controversy over whether the supreme absolute truth is personal or impersonal. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the absolute truth is the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and this is confirmed in every step. In this verse, in particular, it is stressed that the absolute truth is a person. That the personality of Godhead is the supreme absolute truth is also the affirmation of the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Brahma,
Ishvara
Krishna,
Parama Krishna
Sachinanda,
Satchidananda Vigraha.
that is the supreme absolute truth personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna, who is primeval Lord, the reservoir of all the pleasure, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. These authorities leave no doubt that the absolute truth is the supreme person, the cause of all causes. The impersonalist, however, argues on the strength of the Vedic version given in the
Shvetashvatra Upanishad, which says, Tato yad uttataram tad arupam anamayam ya etad vidur amritaste bhavanti atetare dukkam evapiyanti.
In the material world, Brahma, the primeval living entity within the universe, is understood to be the supreme amongst the demigods, human beings, and lower animals. But beyond Brahma, there is the transcendence who has no material form and is free from all material contaminations. Anyone who can know him also becomes transcendental, but those who don't know him suffer the miseries of the material world.
So there are different understandings of God. Some people think he's impersonal, and some people understand he is personal. So what is true? Both. Krishna is both. He's impersonal as well as personal. So but impersonal feature is an incomplete understanding of the supreme truth. Because it is for a fact that many of the Vedic scriptures, they do say that the supreme Lord is anamayam, or they say nirgunam. That means he has no material, no qualities, he has no form. Such things are said in different Upanishads, but that means he has no material form. He doesn't have a form like we have as of now. He doesn't have qualities which we have, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have any form. That doesn't mean he doesn't have any qualities, isn't it? And therefore, when Gajendra is in Srimad Bhagavatam, Gajendra is offering prayers to the Supreme Lord, and in one of the prayers he says, Ururupaya, Arupaya, Ururupaya. One of the statement he makes. Arupaya means no form. Ururupaya means many forms. Oh my Lord, one who has no form but has many forms. Is Gajendra going crazy? My Lord who has no form but has many forms. That means no material form but many spiritual forms. Isn't it? For those people who say God has no form, that means you are better than God because you have a form and God doesn't have a form. Isn't it? So even when you study the Isha Upanishad also says how the Supreme Lord, yes, he doesn't have a material form, But he does have a spiritual form, but in that spiritual form, it's not like our material form. It says Asnaviram. Asnaviram means he doesn't have veins where blood is flowing. His body is not like that. His body is Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. That means it is completely spiritualized. Like when Ravana took out his sword and cut through the body of Narada, it just went through. Then he thought, what is this? Even I want this. Narada said, you cannot get this like that. You have to do some tapasya. Because it's a spiritual form. Spiritual form has no blood. Spiritual form doesn't have to pass stool. It doesn't have to satisfy hunger. There's no kapha vata pitta. Spiritual form, you cannot. Spiritual form doesn't fall sick. Doesn't get affected by virus, COVID. Spiritual form is completely out of our understanding of different forms. Spiritual form is unaffected by anything material, and therefore,
Question.
yeah.
By spiritual form, do you mean like in spiritual form he has like two spiritual eyes, like two spiritual ears, and he wears certain spiritual outfit, his eyes look certain way? Is it like that?
It means it's not made up of Panch Mahabhut. It's not made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. Like, the scientists say our body is 80% water, 80%, 70%. 70% water, isn't it? And of course, the external is all earth. So this is all made up of elements, material energy. But his form is not material energy. It is called as Chinmaya Rupa. It's called spiritual form. Now, if you want to dissect and understand what is it made up of, well, we can only say it is not made up of material elements.
No, it's not about what it is made up of. I have a question like, how does he look like in his spiritual?
So he has, the scripture says the Supreme Lord has Kamala Nayanam, eyes like lotus petals, and his eyes are reaching to his ears. Like that means they're very big.
That is scary.
Not scary, it's very beautiful. People with big eyes are considered to be very beautiful. And then it is said, actually, the different parts of Bhagavatam. It says, he has a sharp nose, and he has lips which are color of a bimba fruit, red as a bimba fruit. We don't even know what is bimba fruit. Welcome to Kali Yuga, And he has Makara Kundala, shark-shaped earrings. He wears Vaijayanti Mala. He is blackish blue in complexion, which is of rain cloud. But of course, today rain cloud is also, we cannot understand what color, isn't it? So, the scriptures give an understanding, and the great souls have seen the truth. Krishna says, Tattvadarshina, what is that? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. Go and approach that person who has seen the truth. That means Krishna reveals himself to the pure devotees. So they have seen. And accordingly, murtis are made. Krishna Murti. According to scriptures, according to realization of different devotees. For example, now you see the Gopal Bhatta Goswami had Saligram Shila. Saligram Shila, like a stone. But then all the other Goswamis had deities, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopinath. So he was thinking, how will I offer dress to Saligram Shila, stone? So he was just praying, if Krishna can manifest himself as a form, then I can dress him. So then the Saligram Shila overnight, when he was taking rest, morning when he saw, Saligram Shila had erupted a beautiful murti of Radha Raman. That is, what do they call in Hindi? Swayambhu. Okay. So it is Swayam Pratishtha. It is self-manifested deity. And that deity is still in Vrindavan, Shri Radha Raman. So if you go, it is said the Radha Raman has eyes of Radha Madan Mohan and the torso of Radha. I think I'm mixing. Sorry, the face of Radha Gopinath, and the torso of Radha Govinda, and the legs of Radha Madan Mohan. Like that. So these are self-manifested. So of course, for us, even if for a pig is looking at a beautiful girl, can he understand the beauty? We are this is the problem. Yeah, we are pig-like. So we are not pigs. The problem is we have to purify our consciousness. Like for cockroach shini is very beautiful, isn't it? So similarly for different people, different, according to the modes of material nature, they find beauty in different things. Like sometimes, I've seen some brahmachari has changed ashram and moved on. So later on when I met, I was thinking, okay, whom his my wife must be, who she made him change ashram. So when I met him, when I met his wife, then I thought, I mean, with all due respect for this lady, he changed ashram. I mean, at least we would have changed ashram for someone beautiful. So something, but he would find her beautiful. You understand? The whole point I'm trying to make is beauty is also according to the three modes. Yeah, that's the point. Sorry.
Yeah, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. It's a quote.
Yeah, I know, it's a quote. Yeah, but it's also according to the three modes of material nature. We find that beauty according to what is beauty. It depends on what kind of mental status we are in, depending on the sattva, rajas, tamas. Yeah, tamasic people will find tamas very beautiful, attractive. Rajasic people will find rajas beautiful. Sattvic people will find sattva beautiful. Like sattvic people, if you put them, if you show other person who is dressed in tamasic way, sometimes people dress in full black and black earrings and black, everything black. You go to Washington Square Park after 7 p.m. you'll find that. So it's like very scary. So sattvic people will not find that very attractive because tamas and sattva no match. Then rajasic means tone pant, tone here, to show that I'm very rugged individual. So that is also for sattva is not very impressive. But for a sattvic person, say a girl comes in with a sari, kumkum, and nicely tied hair, then for him, she will be beautiful. You understanding? So beauty is also according to three modes. So where can we see Krishna? Krishna cannot be perceived by conditioned souls like that. We cannot even perceive there's no absolute beauty in this material world. Everything is relative. So Krishna's beauty is absolute beauty. So even to perceive his beauty or to perceive the Supreme Lord, we need to purify our consciousness. And then Krishna reveals himself. That's when it is possible. Does that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember what you asked.
I asked how does he look like?
Yeah, so I told you all of this because we don't have to worry so much how does he look like. Even if Krishna comes in front of you, like Duryodhana, Krishna said to be the most attractive. Duryodhana saw Krishna face to face and he was so indifferent. Yeah, so it doesn't matter how he looks like. Okay, continue. Next paragraph.
The impersonalist puts more stress on the word arupam.
Yeah, which word we discussed.
But this arupam is not impersonal. It indicates the transcendental form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge as described in the Brahma Samhita quoted above. Other
So
verses in
Prabhupada is
the
quoting Shvetashvata Upanishad to say that different verses talk about impersonal aspect and personal aspect. Vedaham etam purusham mahantam aditya varnam tamasa parastha tameva vididvati mrityumeti nanyah panta vidyate yanaya yasmat param na paramasti kinchit yasma naniyo no jayasti kinchit vriksha ivastabdo divi tishtyatekas tenedam purnam purushena sarvam. I know that the Supreme Person of Godhead, who is transcendental to all material conceptions of darkness, only he who knows him can transcend bonds of birth and death. There is no way for liberation other than this knowledge of that Supreme Person. There is no true superior to that Supreme Person because he is the supermost, he is smaller than the smallest, greater than the greatest, he is situated as a silent tree, illuminates the transcendental sky, and as a tree spreads its roots, he spreads its extensive energies. Okay. Yeah, continue.
From these verses, one concludes that the Supreme Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all pervading by his multi energies, both material and spiritual.
Okay. So Prabhupada is emphasizing that Krishna is a person in this purport. And in this verse, Krishna is saying, I am the one holding everything together. Everything's in my grip. But no one can see me directly. I am like the string holding the pearls together. Sutre Manigana Iva. Now Krishna gives, okay, if Krishna is like the unseeable principle, then how do we even perceive him? Krishna says you can perceive me very easily in this world. Rasoham apsu konteya, that's what he says. Now he gives comparisons. How can you perceive me? When you're very thirsty, you want to drink water. How many of you can recollect that moment when you were very thirsty and you just had some water and you didn't want anything. Even if someone would have given you gold necklace, you would have said, first give me water. Yeah? That taste of water, Krishna says, that is me. Rasoham apsukanteya. Prabhasmi shashi surya yoho. The light of the moon and sun. Light of the moon fills the fruits and vegetables with juices, without which otherwise it will taste like thermocol. There's no taste. Taste is given by moonlight. Sunlight grows them. That means nourishing, warmth. Krishna says that shine is me. Moonshine, sunshine. Pranava sarva vedeshu om. That is me. NASA did some research, right? This one was one video where they said they went to the galaxy and recorded the sound. It was sounding like om. You have seen that video?
Yes.
Released by NASA. Shabdake paurusham nishu. The ability in man or woman is me, Krishna says. I am the ability. That means if someone is very proud, I can do a lot. Then the can do a lot aspect is Krishna. If Krishna withdraws his ability, the ability in man, you cannot do anything. That's what happened to Arjuna. When Krishna left this world, Arjuna had to fight with some infidels. He is a person who was successful defeating Drona, Bhishma, impressed Shiva, and so many accolades, so many certificates, degree after degree. But when he had to fight, with some infidels, he lost. He could not hold the Gandiva properly. He could not aim properly. Why? Because Krishna withdrew Paurusham, the ability. So if someone is proud, I'm very smart, Krishna can withdraw. Then even if you want to think, nothing will come out. Isn't it? So that is Paurusham Rishu. Shabdake Paurusham Rishu. Yeah.
Prabhuji, if this, I mean, this is an important line of explanation as to the fact that we wanted to enjoy separate from God. But is that the only line of explanation why everything else other than the spiritual world and the spiritual energy exists? Because there's multiverse and there's so many other things going around at the same time, and also sometimes people mention that in addition to the multiple arrangements other than the soul spiritual arrangement that is existing, there's also purposes of the soul. I mean, when they are in this material world. So is it that that's the only reason why this deviation, this great deviation happened?
Deviation?
Like deviation from the spiritual world. Like, is the desire to enjoy separate from God the only like major big deviation, or is there more to it than just this?
No, that is the major reason why the jiva comes to the material world. In jivas also, some are like us who want to try to enjoy separate from God, and there are some jivas who are called as Nitya Siddha. They're always perfect. They come to tell the people go back to spiritual world. They are the acharyas, the saintly people. They don't fall, but they come to this world to teach others about God and take them to God. But these are the two, Nitya Baddha, Nitya Siddha.
So on all the planets, in all the universes, this is the reason.
Yeah, see, what might be overwhelming you is the understanding that this material world is so vast. Can this one small reason be the origin of entire material manifestation, isn't it?
Yeah, and not just
variety.
Like
Yeah, so many universes are there. But you have to understand, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, if you can put a number to it, Krishna says material manifestation is only a quarter of the spiritual manifestation. The problem is we don't have an idea of what is there. For that you have to understand the scriptures. So otherwise what will happen, Dr. Frog story. Dr. Frog wearing, the round glasses. The ocean frog comes into the well. And the Dr. Frog in the well, he says, oh, who are you? And he says, I'm just coming from the ocean. Dr. Frog says, what? Ocean? What is ocean? He says, I mean, that's the biggest water body. And Dr. Frog says, biggest water body? I mean, is it even as big as this well? And he's saying, come on, ocean is so huge, you cannot even measure it. He says, maybe twice this well. This is. So why? Because Dr. Frog, we call it Kupamanduka. Kupamanduka means the frog in a well always measures everything in his units are well units. The ocean is 2 wells. His capacity is 0.5 well. He uses everything in well units. Are you able to understand? So till the time we don't have an understanding of what spiritual world is, which you can get by studying Srimad Bhagavatam, it gives a glimpse of what is spiritual world. But when we don't have an idea, then it becomes very overwhelming to think that this entire variety has been created just because we wanted to enjoy separate. But you will also find in the country, prison is also varieties there. There are different categories of prison. You know that some prison only the worst of the worst criminals go. Some prison, when the rich people go, I think they have better facilities also in prisons. You know that, like a A-class prison. Some places they don't even give you a plate. They have open commode. That also is also there. So different types of prison. Just because there are different varieties of prison. Now, why is it that they have come to this to the prison? In detail, yeah, someone would have killed someone, someone would have robbed something. Fine, but at the end of the day, they disobey the law of the country, isn't it? So, in principle, same for the living entity to come from spiritual world to material world. The principle is he disobeyed the laws of God. For that, he has been. I mean, the jiva is very happy to come here, but this is like a prison. Shastras explain. So we will continue this next time. So now Krishna from 7.8 to 7.12, Krishna is giving different comparison how to perceive Krishna in our day-to-day lives. Though Krishna he has to reveal himself, you want to really see the beautiful form of Krishna. But Krishna is also merciful enough to present himself in the beautiful deity form. And also Krishna says in day-to-day transactions, day-to-day activities, you can still perceive him. When you drink water, when you see the sunshine, moonshine, can you ever miss sunshine? You cannot miss sunshine. Of course, in other parts, some places you miss sunshine, but then there's moonshine, isn't it? Ability in man, the pranama sarva vedeshu, like that he gives many more. Balam balavatam chaham, tejas vinamaham. Anything you see special in this world, Krishna says that's spark of my splendor. So we'll see all that next time. We will pause here. So if anyone has any other question, you can take. So we'll go to chanting. Does anyone have any other question? Yeah.
Like in Paradise Lost, it means the original sin that they talk about, the allegory of
Adam Eve. Yeah.
Where does that feature in? Where does that feature into this? Because that is, I think, that is the most popular reason people say that in I think at least Abrahamic.
In Purana also there is one similar Adam Eve story. But in that story, the whole point is God wanted the living entities to be happy, but you will find Adam still goes and takes that fruit on account of being attacked by that sin personified, isn't it? That means again disobey of God's instruction. God had said, except that tree, you can enjoy this entire paradise, but he went to that tree and took that fruit, isn't it? So same principle. However, the details may change. Principle is one, isn't it?
I have a follow-up question. I'll ask after.
Okay, sure. Okay, thank you others for joining. Next time we'll continue from 7.8. So now we will do chanting of Hare Krishna. My bead line. Okay.